Bomb alert forces the abandonment of the Grand National race at Aintree. Thousands stranded without their cars as police carry out security checks at the racecourse. And in the north, 2 Catholic churches are burned in arson attacks. A very good evening to you. The world's greatest steeplechase, the Grand National, was cancelled today after 2 coded telephone warnings claimed a bomb had been placed in a stand at the racecourse. The warnings, believed by British police to come from the IRA, were issued half an hour before the Grand National was due to begin. 60,000 spectators were ordered to leave the racecourse. Police carried out at least 2 controlled explosions and say more may be necessary. Thousands of racegoers are facing a night in emergency accommodation with 20,000 cars and hundreds of coaches trapped by the security alert. There was condemnation of the incident from politicians both in Britain and here. No decision has been made as to whether the race will be run next week.
Over 60,000 people were at Aintree to watch the 150th Grand National, one of the world's best-known steeplechase races. The build-up to the race was being shown live on television when suddenly, about a half an hour before the 3:45 start-off, officials ordered the jockeys, horses and spectators to move out of the grandstands onto the racecourse. These type of signs suddenly appeared telling people to leave the stands immediately. Merseyside police said they had received 2 coded telephone warnings and that people were being moved from the stands to the racecourse area in accordance with pre-arranged plans. The calls followed the discovery of 2 IRA bombs on British motorways during the week, creating traffic chaos. Those moved from the stands included Britain's Princess Anne, as well as thousands of Irish racing lovers. They left the stands in a calm and orderly fashion, moving quickly to the racecourse area. As they did so, it was announced that the warning said a bomb was due to go off at 10 to 4, 5 minutes into the race. A specialist police explosive search team made a detailed search of the main stand and the surrounding area as punters continued to stream away. It was then unclear if the race would go ahead later this afternoon, but as journalists, trainers and spectators were speculating about a possible race, the final warning came.
There have been 2 coded bomb warnings received by the police, and there is no possibility of taking any chances. Consequently, we're going to abandon racing for today and make a further announcement later. So I just ask everybody here, including you from the BBC, to leave the course and get out onto the public highway immediately.
Police say more controlled explosions may be necessary, and the entire area is likely to remain sealed off until sometime tomorrow. This means that thousands of racegoers will have to spend the night in emergency accommodation because an estimated 20,000 cars and hundreds of coaches are inaccessible because of the security alert.
And we'll have more about Aintree in our sports news later in the programme. Today's bomb alert follows a number of IRA-related bombings and warnings in several parts of Britain over the past 2 weeks.
Chaos and disruption on the motorways in the British Midlands this week, fueling further speculation that the IRA has launched a campaign designed to cause the maximum disruption and publicity in the run-up to the British general election. It was only yesterday that the M6 motorway was reopened after the discovery of 2 devices, one which failed to go off despite the detonator exploding. But just over a week ago, a bomb did go off, again causing chaos, this time to the rail network. 2 devices were discovered at Wimslow station in Cheshire. There was disruption too at the East Coast rail network after a scare there. While there were no injuries in these attacks or at Aintree today, the IRA achieved what it would see as a tactical success, causing the maximum impact for the minimum effort. Security forces have expressed fears of possible further attacks and asked the public to be extra vigilant, especially in the weeks leading up to the election on May the 1st.
Loyalists